Hidden in the frozen lands of Alaska, HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, is shrouded in dark secrets. For many, it is not just a scientific experiment, but a weapon capable of manipulating the weather and causing natural disasters. Could violent storms and earthquakes be the result of human interference? Or are they part of a larger plan where technology surpasses ethical and human boundaries? In this series, we will explore these questions, revealing theories and evidence that challenge the official narrative. Prepare to uncover the hidden face of global climate control. The truth may be more terrifying than you imagine, and the mystery is only beginning. In the frozen heart of Alaska, in a remote area near Gakona, stands a facility that, at first glance, appears to be nothing more than a field of antennas. But behind these metallic structures lies HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Officially, it's a scientific project aimed at studying the ionosphere, the upper layer of Earth's atmosphere. However, since its creation in 1993, HAARP has been shrouded in mystery and conspiracy theories that question its true purpose. Initially funded by the U.S. Air Force, the Navy, the University of Alaska, and DARPA, HAARP was designed to explore the ionosphere's properties and their impact on communication and surveillance systems. Its main tool, the Ionospheric Research Instrument, IRI, is a high-frequency transmitter capable of temporarily exciting a limited area of the ionosphere. This ability to manipulate atmospheric layers, even in a localized way, has raised deep suspicions about possible covert military applications. The HAARP facility consists of 180 antennas spread over an area of approximately 33 acres. With a transmission power of up to 3.6 megawatts, the IRI can emit high-frequency radio waves that interact directly with the ionosphere. While scientists claim these interactions are harmless and limited, conspiracy theorists suggest that HAARP could be used for more sinister purposes, including weather manipulation and even mind control. In 2002, the Russian parliament raised concerns about HAARP, claiming that the United States was developing new geophysical weapons capable of influencing Earth's atmosphere. This official statement, signed by 90 deputies, was presented directly to President Vladimir Putin, underscoring the international seriousness of the suspicions surrounding the program. Despite repeated denials, HAARP has remained a constant target of speculation and secrecy. In 2015, HAARP's operation was transferred from the U.S. Air Force to the University of Alaska Fairbanks. This transition was presented as a shift toward purely scientific research. Yet critics argue this may have been a strategic move, a way to redirect public scrutiny while continuing sensitive experiments under the veil of academia. The lack of transparency and history of military funding only fuel further suspicions about HAARP's true intent. Faced with so many controversies and conflicting narratives, one question persists: is HAARP truly just a harmless scientific endeavor, or is it a disguised weapon capable of altering the weather and influencing human behavior? As we explore the next topics, we'll delve deeper into the evidence and accounts surrounding this enigmatic facility. Could HAARP be manipulating forces we barely understand? The human mind operates through delicate electrical impulses, generating specific brainwave frequencies that regulate our mood, perception, and behavior. Brainwaves like alpha, beta, delta, and theta are electrical patterns that can be influenced by external stimuli, especially electromagnetic frequencies. This connection between electromagnetic fields and neurological processes raises a chilling question. What if someone could interfere with those signals remotely? According to many theorists, HAARP isn't just about studying the ionosphere. It may have the potential to emit waves that directly affect the human brain. Some claim that HAARP's technology could function as a form of forced brainwave resonance. By emitting targeted frequencies that mimic or disrupt natural brainwave patterns, the system could induce artificial mental states, such as anxiety, apathy, or aggression. It's been suggested that this technology has already been tested on a mass scale during protests, wars, and social unrest, acting as a silent weapon of crowd control. The most disturbing part? Most people would never know their emotions were being manipulated. A U.S. Air Force report titled "Owning the Weather in 2025" explicitly mentions the use of frequencies for psychological operations. While the document discusses future hypothetical scenarios, critics argue that it reveals genuine intentions behind programs like HAARP. Moreover, previous projects like MKUltra, conducted by the CIA, had already explored external stimuli as tools for mind control. HAARP, then, may represent the technological evolution of those dark experiments, now operating on a global, invisible scale. Supporters of this theory often point to unusual behavioral shifts following alleged HAARP activations. Sudden spikes in aggression, inexplicable apathy in populations, and waves of despair that seem to engulf entire regions. These are seen not as coincidences, but as symptoms of targeted frequency exposure. If true, this would mean that emotions, thoughts, and even decisions might be artificially induced from afar. A silent war, fought not with bullets, but with vibrations, targeting the most sacred space of all, the human mind. Several whistleblowers have hinted at classified programs that utilize ELF, extremely low frequency, waves for psychological warfare. ELF waves, by their nature, penetrate deep into the earth and into human tissue. Their potential to entrain brainwaves is not just theoretical. Documents leaked in the early 2000s describe military experiments where specific frequencies triggered confusion, panic, or docility in test subjects. If HAARP is equipped to transmit such frequencies globally, then the battlefield has moved beyond borders. It now resides in the minds of the masses. Mainstream science dismisses these claims as paranoia and pseudoscience. However, the silence surrounding HAARP's full capabilities, combined with redacted reports and vague denials, continues to feed the conspiracy. Could it be that this facility, nestled quietly in the Alaskan wilderness, is actually the centerpiece of a psychological experiment on a planetary scale? The implications are staggering and terrifying. If your thoughts are no longer your own, how would you ever know? In February 2017, a strange meteorological event unfolded over the Gulf of Carpentaria between northern Australia and Papua New Guinea. Cyclone Alfred formed suddenly, defying established models and leaving meteorologists puzzled by its erratic behavior. Its rapid intensification and unpredictable path triggered alarm bells, not just for weather experts, but for independent climate observers tracking atmospheric anomalies. In the hours before the cyclone's formation, unusual electromagnetic pulses were reportedly detected in the sky, sparking suspicions that this storm wasn't entirely natural. Several civilian-operated monitoring stations recorded sudden bursts of ionospheric activity in the region, signals often associated with HAARP's operational frequencies. The timing was uncanny. As Alfred grew stronger, so did the electromagnetic disturbances. Researchers pointed out that no previous storms in this area had displayed such erratic characteristics, especially outside of peak cyclone season. Could this have been a test? A localized experiment in weather manipulation masked as a freak natural event? Cyclone Alfred wasn't the only anomaly. In the years following, similar surprise storms have been reported around the globe, often in geopolitically sensitive regions. From hurricanes in the Caribbean to typhoons in the Pacific, independent investigators noticed a disturbing pattern: sudden shifts in pressure systems, sky flashes before storm formation, and electromagnetic readings spiking just hours before impact. These signs echo the potential capabilities attributed to HAARP, directed energy, atmospheric heating, and artificial weather disruption. Perhaps more chilling are the earthquakes allegedly linked to HAARP. The 2011 Tohoku quake and tsunami in Japan killed over 15,000 people. But weeks before the disaster, Japanese scientists reported strange low-frequency sounds emanating from the upper atmosphere, as well as rapid temperature fluctuations in the ionosphere, signals eerily consistent with HAARP-style interference. While mainstream media quickly dismissed such claims, leaked diplomatic cables later revealed international concern about weaponized climate systems and tectonic destabilization protocols. The overlap between HAARP activity windows and major natural disasters is difficult to ignore. While correlation doesn't always equal causation, the repeated coincidences raise uncomfortable questions. If a storm, an earthquake, or a drought can be induced with precision, It opens the door to silent warfare, using the planet itself as a weapon. And if these techniques have already been refined, what other catastrophes have been engineered without our knowledge? Perhaps some events labeled natural disasters were anything but natural. As public records are scrubbed and critical voices silenced, only fragments remain for researchers to piece together. HAARP's defenders argue the facility is benign, focused solely on academic research. Yet the mounting trail of anomalies suggests otherwise. Cyclone Alfred may have been the beginning of a new chapter, one in which disasters are no longer warnings from nature, but carefully designed messages sent from shadowy halls of power. And if that's the case, what storm is being engineered next? In the shadows of modern warfare, a new battleground has emerged, one where missiles are replaced by clouds and invasions by droughts. Weather manipulation, once a sci-fi concept, has become a strategic interest for governments worldwide. Declassified U.S. military documents, including the infamous 1996 report, Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Weather in 2025, openly discuss the potential of weather control as a tactical advantage. Rain can halt troop movements, storms can cripple economies, and heat waves can sow civil unrest, all without firing a single bullet. These ideas are not theoretical anymore. The report outlines precise methods for inducing precipitation, dispersing fog, and disrupting enemy communications through ionospheric interference. Technologies like HAARP are suspiciously aligned with these capabilities. Though officials claim it's for ionospheric research, its ability to heat the upper atmosphere could, in theory, alter jet streams and redirect storms. In a world obsessed with dominance, why wouldn't such a power be weaponized quietly? NATO, the US Air Force, and even DARPA have invested in weather-related projects that blur the line between research and warfare. The Convention on the Prohibition of Military or Any Other Hostile Use of Environmental Modification Techniques, ENMOD, signed in 1977, was meant to prevent this. But its very existence implies that these technologies were already on the table nearly 50 years ago. If such an agreement was necessary then, what hidden programs might have evolved in the decades since? Some suspect that the unusually precise timing of certain disasters is no accident. Agricultural zones destroyed by sudden hail, political summits interrupted by bizarre storms, and developing nations devastated by droughts just as they resist global agendas. These aren't random acts of nature, they may be warnings. Or worse, punishments. It's no longer just about controlling people, it's about controlling the very environment in which they live. The perfect weapon leaves no trace of the aggressor. Weather warfare doesn't just destabilize enemy nations, it creates dependency. If you can generate rain, you can also withhold it. In times of global food scarcity and water crises, the ability to grant or deny life-sustaining weather becomes the ultimate power play. Entire economies could be leveraged into submission. And with AI and satellites now guiding these systems, decisions about who suffers or survives might already be automated. So while the world debates climate change, another war may already be underway. A silent one, invisible to the public, orchestrated in the upper reaches of the sky. And the real battlefield? It's not a country or a border. It's the climate itself. If our weather has become a tool of domination, then the next great war won't be declared with words or armies. It will arrive with thunder, wind, and rain, and no one will know who started it. From the outset, official statements about HAARP have been shrouded in ambiguity and contradiction. While the program is publicly described as a scientific research project focused on ionospheric studies, numerous leaked documents and whistleblower testimonies suggest a far more ominous reality. Government agencies repeatedly deny any involvement in weather manipulation or weaponization, yet their evasive language only fuels suspicion. The veil of secrecy is maintained through carefully crafted public relations campaigns aimed at discrediting skeptics and diverting attention from the true capabilities of the technology. This deliberate obfuscation raises profound questions. What is being hidden behind the official narrative? And why is transparency so fiercely guarded? The role of mainstream media in perpetuating denial cannot be overlooked. News outlets often echo government talking points, dismissing HAARP-related claims as conspiracy theories or pseudoscience. Investigative journalists who attempt to probe deeper frequently face subtle censorship or pressure to abandon their inquiries. This systemic silencing of dissenting voices creates an echo chamber where only the sanctioned version of events survives. Meanwhile, online forums and independent researchers become battlegrounds for contested information where truth and fabrication blur. The struggle to uncover objective facts is further complicated by the sophisticated use of disinformation tactics designed to confuse and mislead the public. Whistleblowers and insiders who break the silence face severe consequences, including character assassination, legal threats, and professional blacklisting. Their revelations about clandestine HAARP activities, ranging from targeted atmospheric experiments to clandestine electromagnetic interference, have been met with swift suppression. These silencing methods are not merely protective measures but tools to maintain control over a powerful weapon cloaked in scientific jargon. The erasure of credible voices hinders public understanding and obstructs meaningful debate about the ethical implications of manipulating the planet's climate systems. Internationally, denial remains a strategic front. Countries with similar technologies or alleged HAARP-like facilities mirror the U.S. approach, official denials coupled with heavy censorship. This global pattern suggests a coordinated effort to keep the true scope of climate warfare technologies under wraps. The involvement of multinational corporations and secretive military alliances further complicates accountability. They operate behind layers of confidentiality agreements and non-disclosure clauses, shielding their actions from public scrutiny. The question lingers: how deep does this web of silence and disinformation really go? The persistence of denial in the face of mounting anomalies and unexplained weather events speaks to the power of controlling the narrative. HAARP's capabilities, if weaponized, represent a paradigm shift in warfare and environmental manipulation. Admitting to such power would force governments to confront ethical, legal, and geopolitical consequences. Hence, the choice is to deny and discredit, preserving an illusion of innocence while continuing covert operations. This dynamic maintains a dangerous status quo, one where the truth is obscured by layers of deception and the planet's climate remains a battlefield. As the shadows deepen, the veil of silence around HAARP grows thinner but no less impenetrable. The campaign of disinformation and suppression is a stark reminder of how control over knowledge shapes power. The question remains: are we destined to remain pawns in a global game of climate control, blinded by denial and misinformation? Or will the veil finally lift, revealing the full extent of this silent war fought high above us? The truth waits buried beneath the storms. Beyond the remote deserts of Alaska, where the original HAARP installation sits, similar secretive facilities have reportedly emerged across the globe. Nations like Norway and Russia have established ionospheric research centers strikingly reminiscent of HAARP's design and capabilities. These installations operate far from public scrutiny, cloaked in military secrecy and scientific ambiguity. While officially described as weather research or communication projects, whispers persist that these sites serve as nodes in a vast network of atmospheric control linked by advanced electromagnetic technologies. This global expansion hints at a coordinated effort to dominate the weather and climate on an unprecedented scale. In Norway, the IceCat radar system, officially a scientific instrument for studying the upper atmosphere, exhibits suspicious parallels to HAARP's frequency and operational parameters. Russian facilities, often hidden in remote Siberian landscapes, are rumored to host powerful transmitters capable of influencing ionospheric conditions. These sites reportedly collaborate with military command centers, enabling real-time atmospheric manipulation as part of covert defense strategies. The geographical spread of these facilities suggests that climate warfare has evolved from an experimental American project into an international arms race of invisible weapons. The secrecy enveloping these operations is maintained through layers of classified protocols and misinformation. International treaties appear to have been circumvented or rewritten to accommodate these new technologies under the guise of peaceful scientific research. Independent investigations are routinely obstructed, with satellite images and data censored or altered. This global web of concealment reinforces the idea that HAARP and its counterparts are more than mere scientific experiments. They are instruments of geopolitical power. Understanding the true extent of this network requires peeling back layers of deception and challenging the official silence. Technological advancements in HAARP 2.0 include enhanced signal power and precision targeting, capable of inducing localized atmospheric disturbances and potentially triggering extreme weather events. These upgrades make the new facilities more potent and dangerous, with ramifications that extend beyond military applications. Some researchers warn that the unchecked manipulation of the ionosphere could destabilize global climate patterns, exacerbating natural disasters rather than preventing them. The ethical implications of deploying such weapons in civilian airspace remain deeply troubling, raising questions about accountability and long-term consequences. The collaboration among nations operating these facilities hints at alliances formed in the shadows, where power is measured by control over the unseen forces shaping the planet. This hidden network challenges the traditional boundaries of warfare and diplomacy, introducing a silent conflict fought high above the clouds. The expansion of HAARP-like centers worldwide represents a new chapter in the story of climate control, one written in secrecy, yet with consequences felt across every continent. How much do we really know about these covert operations, and who truly benefits from the ability to manipulate nature itself? As the veil of secrecy slowly lifts, more evidence emerges of an escalating global effort to harness atmospheric technologies. The proliferation of HAARP 2.0 facilities signals a shift from isolated experiments to an integrated system of climate influence and control. Whether this is preparation for future conflicts or a means of asserting dominance in a changing world remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that the battle for the sky has entered a new phase, one where invisibility is the greatest weapon and silence the most powerful shield. The world watches, unaware of the storms being engineered above. Whispers of apocalyptic prophecies have long surrounded extreme weather phenomena, often seen as ominous signs of an impending end. Yet, in the shadow of scientific advances like HAARP, these ancient warnings take on a new dimension. Could these devastating storms, mysterious anomalies, and shifting climate patterns be less nature's wrath and more a scripted sequence, meticulously orchestrated by unseen hands? The boundary between myth and technology blurs as we confront a future where the climate itself might be controlled, manipulated to serve hidden agendas. This intersection of prophecy and experiment paints a chilling picture of a world where chaos is no accident. Anomalies such as sudden temperature drops, unseasonal storms, and inexplicable atmospheric disturbances challenge traditional meteorology. Researchers investigating HAARP's capabilities suggest that many of these events align suspiciously with known experimental timelines and frequencies emitted by ionospheric heaters. This raises disturbing questions. Are these natural disasters or consequences of secret atmospheric engineering? Prophecies that foretold upheaval now seem eerily synchronized with emerging weather manipulation technologies, suggesting a grim partnership between ancient fears and modern science. In many cultures, prophetic visions have described sky fires and waters boiling, metaphors which strikingly resemble phenomena linked to electromagnetic atmospheric interference. The notion that the planet's climate could be deliberately programmed lends a terrifying new meaning to these ancient narratives. Some conspiracy theories argue that global elites use this technology to accelerate environmental collapse, reshaping the world according to a dark blueprint. Whether myth or method, the fusion of prophecy and scientific experimentation fuels a growing unease about humanity's role in the unfolding climatic chaos. The psychological impact of living under a manipulated sky cannot be overstated. When natural disasters feel engineered, trust in institutions erodes, and paranoia seeps into public consciousness. This creates fertile ground for control, where fear becomes a tool to justify surveillance, militarization, and draconian policies. The possibility of a programmed climate raises profound ethical questions about free will, power, and responsibility. Are we mere players in a predetermined scenario, or can humanity reclaim control from those orchestrating the storms? Scientific voices warning about the dangers of unchecked atmospheric manipulation face suppression and ridicule, intensifying the divide between official narratives and alternative realities. Whistleblowers have hinted at hidden agendas behind weather modification programs, suggesting that the true purpose extends beyond defense into social and political engineering. As extreme weather events multiply, so too does speculation about a premeditated script, one that manipulates nature to serve ends unknown. The line between experiment and apocalypse grows thinner with each passing season. Ultimately, the question remains: are we witnessing the unfolding of ancient prophecies, or the manifestation of man-made climate control experiments? Perhaps the truth lies buried in the intersection, where science, secrecy, and superstition collide. As we look to the sky, the storms above may not just be forces of nature, but symptoms of a programmed future. What remains clear is the urgency to uncover the hidden forces shaping our world before the next engineered tempest sweeps us into darkness. The mysteries surrounding HAARP remain shrouded in shadows, a project hidden in secrecy, yet seemingly powerful enough to bend the forces of nature. Are these disasters and climatic anomalies truly natural, or the chilling result of deliberate manipulation? What secrets lie behind the silence and denial that surround this program? Could HAARP be a hidden weapon in a silent war for control of the planet? And if so, who truly holds the reins of this invisible force? Now, it's up to you to decide. What do you believe is really happening behind the veil of science and secrecy? Do you think all of this is just coincidence, or is there something much greater behind this theory? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, activate the notification bell, and share this video with your friends so more people can discover these dark truths. The weather is no longer just a game of nature. It might be a script written in the shadows, and we are all pieces in a world more controlled than we dare to imagine.